Ain't gonna happen.
No, but we could play it anyway. And Burleson's eyes look like they're popping out of his fucking head. And Burleson's eyes look like they're popping out of his fucking head. And Burleson's eyes look like they're popping out of his fucking head. And Burleson's eyes look like they're popping out of his fucking head.
Oh shit!
And Burleson's eyes look like they're popping out of his fucking head.
I hit the wrong button.
And Burleson's eyes look
It
like they're popping out of his fucking head. And Burleson's eyes look like they're popping out of his
No one can hear me now. Now everybody can hear me. Yes, we're all about to get started, folks. Sorry about the delay. Yeah, some shit just went sideways. It's been fuck you Monday. I don't know what it is. It's like Mondays. It's been a great day all the way along. On that note, let's go ahead and get this party started the right way.
And here, with his bird's eye view and a brain to match, is Mr. Know-It-All.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fester, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Monday, August 10th. Yeah, if it could go wrong, folks, it's been one of those days. My God, chat didn't want to work, had to reboot, get things set up, reboot again. I get it going again. Doesn't want to show up in the show. It's been just lovely. And then I start the show on accident, and, well, let's have a fun time, shall we? Let's go ahead and find our audience. Where the hell are they? All right, participants, let's go ahead and welcome everybody in. I know there's no way I would be able to finish this all in time, but let's just get to it really quick. We got the Greasy Weasels back again. We got Alpha Breeze and Anne-Marie. Anonymous Rex is out there along with April and Cabriolet. Chan 310's out there, along with the screen I can't see on. How about that? Let's welcome in Chief on Beef, or is it Chief McBeef? Sorry, man. It happened last show, and it just sticks. Where's the beef? Chris is out there along with Corporal A. We got Daily Saging Donna, Digger Dog, Dusty Gee. Good to see Eliza. We got Elvis Roten, Eric, Firefly. Found This Fascinating's out there along with good old Geraldine Durazio. Grateful Benny's out there along with Hollywood Harold, J Cat Meow, Joey Spades in the chat, along with John Geldhill. Yes, I'm welcoming everybody.
The show audio is not playing in the back chat, Thomas.
Yep, there you go. Not only that do we have, yes, we've got, yeah, it's a live show, folks. It's going sideways today, but we're gonna have a fun time. Okay, back to Hollywood Herald. We got It's Stellars in the chat along with J Cat Meow, Joey Spades, John Geldhill. We got Jonathan Wilson, Kelly Burrow, those piercing blue eyes, Kiwi DJ, Larry Sandell, Lori G, Lou, Matt, Michael Stickler, good to see you, my friend, Mr. Joey B, Ms. Cussout. Let's just get this done. Necessary Dialogue. Niles guys in the chat along with Old Gaffer. Let's welcome in Over the Top Lady. Let's go to the studio. At least that's working now for the time being. Mr. Joey B, got to welcome in Ms. Cuss Out. Necessary Dialogues in the chat, along with Niles Guy. Old Gaffer's out there, along with Over the Top Andy, Peggy, and Steve, all the way from Miami, Florida, our dear friends. Perfectly Imperfect in the chat, along with Psychosomatic Insane, Science of Life, and Rainstorm Hunter. Yeah, it's a good time of year to go hunting some rainstorms. How about that? Random YouTube user, we got Randy Robert John and Sag and Sam and Sandy and anyone else. Scooby Dooby Gooby. We got Scott and Scott. 2 Scotts. How about that? Can't forget Shelly. Oh, no, we can't forget Shelly ever. Span's out there along with Stank, Buns. You need to go hang out with Greasy Weasel. You two could get along really well. Let's welcome in Super Unknown, Steve Mateo. Teresa Loves Our President, the Fantasy Football Master, the Coin 405, all the way from Sweden, and the Real 2 Cruising. How about that? Yeah, you got to hear all the echo and all the crazy stuff going on and all those fun things. Yeah. Let's see. Does the chat still work? Can I still click on it and bring something up? Fuck yeah, it works. Thank God on that.
I think you need some national security, Thomas.
Oh, Daryl, good idea.
Yeah. Let's get this party started right. Am I going the right way? There we go.
That's it. Clink.
Clinky, clinky. Take your drinky.
Oh, fuck yeah. I could use a couple of these. Now, and by the way.
Oh, a couple? Okay.
Well, by the way, because it's national security, Daryl, I keep myself to American vodka, and it's actually pretty fucking good.
I had some Korean vodka over the weekend. But I had some Korean vodka over the weekend, but I think we're missing Mike Disclosure for what he had to drink over the weekend.
Oh, I didn't have any of the national security, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so no. Grapefruit juice? What?
No. Poland spring water. That's it.
Wow, you're a clean man.
Yeah, I am. Like it or not.
Been there, done that, huh?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
God, yeah. Been there so many times. So what a fucking day. Holy cow. I have to go ahead. Let's put the chat on auto now that it works. Corporal Abe is going to be there. Yes, I have to thank the programmer who makes this plugin. Every time I have to do a reinstall and set it, he uses the same color scheme as Grinder Mike.
Oh, that's lovely.
Orangish, yellow, and black.
Beautiful.
Construction, yellow and black. Yeah, we'll deal with all that shit later, I tell you.
I'll have to.
All right. So, yeah, title card, where the fuck is that at? Oh, yeah. Shoot the UFOs down. Ross Coulthart went off on Sunday morning. Whatever happened to Ross's lips, and we got to talk about on that one when we get to watch it. Interesting conversation, to say the least. I mean, we're getting down to it again. Before it was Tulsi Gabbard, he was saying, the OVNI was trying to have a shoot down of UFOs out there. And now he's saying it's the President of the United States who's ordering the shoot down of UFOs. Mike, do you think he's stupid enough to go ahead and declare war on these things?
No. He's got enough. He's got his hands full with Iran already. He doesn't need any more than that. Certainly not with this.
No.
No, not at all.
No. But oh man, there was such a good X post this morning, and I grabbed it, and I'm gonna have to find it now. It's one of those things. It'll be in here somewhere, but I'll find it anyway. Where's that at? Where's the bookmarks? And I want to look for. All right. Well, this came from Ewok Hunter earlier today, but he kind of explains it. This stuff happened from Ross, happened a month ago, but we're just learning about it. Australian media aren't super sharp. They're easily misled. And I heard that, Mike, and I was just like, that explains
it.
That explains it. And then some. Holy cow. All right, let's get into this thing. Well, you sent a message about this, and it's UAP one
yes,
UAP.
It is. Right.
Oh, this is in Chrome. It's in the wrong fucking browser. Where is Brave? Oh, fuck, it's not loading. Just cross your fingers on this one. I don't blow up again. Oh, please don't crash. I'm not going to look. I have to look in order to. We got that. Come on, where's Brave? New window. Here we go. Get over to X. I'm not crashed. God. All right. I can hide this one over here. Let's get it. Yeah, I'm still dealing with the mindfuck that went on trying to get the show started today. Hey, holy cow. Let's get to this. Where are we at? Yes, we're going to go stare right into that light there so I can't see shit. And I'll fix that in a bit. Let's get to video full. Thomas, guest. All right, here we go. Yeah, I call this video full because we play videos here, but it seems to be one of the views we use the most often just because it lets us see like a full screen. And if we need to hide ourselves to get through it, we definitely can. So let's get to it. UAP1, that was today. At 6:01 p.m. my time, only 19 minutes ago. How about that?
Correct.
So I guess this would qualify.
Breaking news.
A breaking UFOs alert, friends. That's right. Let's get to it to see where we're at. David Grush, quote, Mr. President, give us the authorization, and we're ready to go. Plus the same message from Burleson, Brown, Borlett, and Nucatelli. POTUS, give us the green light, and then that speech will echo forever, literally. No. You know what they're asking for, right?
Yeah, they want a green light from the president to say whatever's on their mind.
It ain't never going to happen. That ain't never, ever, ever, ever going to happen. I know we got the young guys in there, you know, Borland and Brown, and they haven't been around in this so long, but I guess it doesn't surprise me coming from Dave, kind of, but he kind of knows how national security works. You think he would?
Oh, we know he knows how national security works.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Well,
but maybe they're thinking with the new administration pushing for disclosure that maybe they got a shot. No, I don't think they do. I agree with you, Thomas.
You know,
this is a cover-up. You all know it.
Hold on. Don't set your hopes up on this, folks. Don't set them up because there's a damn good chance this ain't going to work. It ain't going to happen. So we're hearing some noise coming from some whistleblowers and some people in the house. Hopefully something like this can happen. But this is like, well, let's play it and see where it goes. Let's be positive for now.
But we know it. We demand the answer. This is a cover-up. You all know it. We know it. We demand the answers.
This is our government. This is our country. This is our information, and damn it, we demand it.
My name is Eric Burleson.
My name is David Grush.
Jeffrey Nusatelli.
Matthew Brown.
My name is Dylan Borland, a former geospatial intelligence analyst for the United States Air Force.
I'm a Republican congressman from Missouri.
I'm a former career Air Force intelligence officer and former senior intelligence official who served at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency.
I served as a national security contractor supporting the Department of War and the Department of State.
I'm a former United States Air Force Security Forces member.
And a member of the task force.
What happened to his eyes, Mike?
They look like they're popping out of his skull.
Hope he doesn't have Gravis disease or something like that, but so it feels like someone took the back of his skull and just fucking twisted his hair.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Maybe a side effect of Ozempic that we just don't know about yet.
Maybe.
On the declassification of federal secrets.
I've already provided classified testimony and evidence to the Intelligence Community Inspector General and Congress
regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena, technologies of unknown origin, and non-human intelligence.
We continue to receive credible claims of recovered craft of non-human origin and reverse engineering programs.
This included photographs and videos of these operations to include the craft and the non-human occupants.
I can tell you with certainty that I provide evidence of current operations.
And I've seen this evidence with my own eyes, and I've had these discussions with our nation's most senior leaders in a classified environment.
The American people in Congress have not heard the whole truth because secrecy agreements and active threats prevent me from speaking freely.
But these whistleblowers are being terrorized.
I personally know current and former government employees who possess critical first-hand information but remain silent because they fear losing their careers,
their pensions,
or facing serious legal jeopardy.
Mr. President,
Mr. President,
Mr. President,
Mr. President,
we need you to use your authority because the American people are behind you on this, and the time is now. Provide immunity for anyone and everyone who has already come forward, and for those who will come forward.
Mr. President, give us the authorization, and we're ready to go.
So are they only asking for immunity at this point?
It sounds like it, and it looked to me like David Grush was standing in the Capitol building.
Yeah.
They're trying to be official with this request.
All right. So giving them the ability to go ahead and talk freely, probably not going to happen. Give them immunity. But here's the thing. None of these guys have seen the order for whistleblowers, have they?
No.
Not one of them has. They don't know what's in it. Nobody
Right.
knows. Well, it's classified at this point under the terms of national security, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I can believe it.
Other side.
Blinky, take a drinky.
Yep, national security. I had to put that in there, but it's true. Yeah, so they want to go ahead. They want to bring out the truth. But you know who's missing from that overall message?
Oh, I can think of a few people that are missing from that message.
I'll put at the top of the list, I'll say Lou Elizondo.
Oh, no, he wouldn't. No.
But he's missing.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be making a public statement like that at all.
Yeah.
Not the way they're doing it. They're going about it all wrong.
And
Lou knows that.
They only had Burleson in there, if you want to call
Not
it
Burchett.
talking about it.
Right, not Luna.
They had Burchett at the start of it, but not actually in it. They
No,
didn't
he's
have
not making a
Luna
request.
making any statements at all.
Right. That's correct.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to it one more time.
You all know this is a cover-up. You all know it. We know it. We demand the answers.
This is our government. This is our country. This is our information, and damn it, we demand it.
My name is Eric Burleson.
My name is David Grush.
Jeffrey Nusatelli.
Matthew Brown.
My name is Dylan Borland, a former geospatial intelligence analyst for the United States Air Force.
I'm a Republican congressman from Missouri.
I'm a former career Air Force intelligence officer and former senior intelligence official who served at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency.
I served as a national security contractor supporting the Department of War and the Department of State.
I'm a former United States Air Force Security Forces member.
And a member of the task force on the declassification of federal secrets.
I've already provided classified testimony and evidence to the Intelligence Community Inspector General and Congress
Regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena, technologies of unknown origin, and non-human intelligence.
We continue to receive credible claims of recovered craft of non-human origin and reverse engineering programs.
This included photographs and videos of these operations to include the craft and the non-human occupants.
I can tell you with certainty that I provide evidence of current operations.
And I've seen this evidence with my own eyes, and I've had these discussions with our nation's most senior leaders in a classified environment.
The American people in Congress have not heard the whole truth because secrecy agreements and active threats prevent me from speaking freely.
But these whistleblowers are being terrorized.
I personally know current and
Prevent me. The American people in Congress have not heard the whole truth because secrecy agreements and active threats prevent me from speaking freely.
Yes, and you'll never be able to speak freely on this. You'll only be able to speak things that are approved through DOPSR. Hate to say
Yeah,
it.
but the secrecy agreements, I would assume he's referencing the NDAs. Well, I believe the president allowed them to speak privately with Arrow and Pursue if they have anything they want to say. So they have a way in, just not publicly.
Right. Now, David Grush did come out, I believe it was yesterday, and he did talk about Pursue, and he said it's a good thing and people should come forward. So it seems a little bit still twisted here.
There are people in his community for whistleblowers who have a different opinion about Pursue because of all the shenanigans that went on with Arrow. And one of them would be Matthew Brown, which I can understand considering how the ODNI, what they did to him. So he has every reason, unless proven otherwise, to feel the way that he does about not trusting any government agency at this point. But that being said, we just got a super chat from Aliens in the Cloud podcast.
I've already brought it up, and I thanked him during the thing and saying, oh, God, love this show, guys, tech issues and all. Appreciate that, my friend.
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as I heard it was going on, I was like, oh, shit. I'll find it now and fix it.
Right.
Oh, what a day. What a day. Okay. So,
I know, and it's only Monday. Can you imagine? We're not at Friday yet.
If Monday started like this, I'm not looking forward to Friday, I tell you.
Yeah, but we have over 400 people in the audience right now, so not bad.
Well, let's get on to it. Let's get on to the main story of the night then. Audience, thank you for hanging around. Let's having some fun with it. Let's get back to the interview guest as I get our stuff up. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about this for a second. I guess we can watch the Ross video, right? At least parts of it.
Yeah, we can.
And as we watch it, pay attention to his lips. I'm just saying, not going to say much more. Yeah. Let's go ahead and bring up this video of Ross talking. Downey, where's Downey at? Where's the Downey? Where's the little freaking Downey boy? All right, now I'll just bring up a new window. I'll find it. Go to downloads. It's going to be right there on the top. Oh, Ross Coulthart, Skywatcher didn't disappear. Okay, Skywatcher not disappearing. Here's the thing. Just to remind everybody on the timeline, we'll get into this after this video is over. Skywatcher shut down all luring operations in September of, it was either August or September of 2025. And stop. Done. Who was the name of the guy again, Mike? Who?
James, what was his
Walton?
name? Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, he had all the technology for the dog whistle.
He had all the tech. He had the
Right.
dog whistle. He had the cameras. He had all the high-end stuff and all those kinds of things.
Right. But he took his toys and went home.
He took his toys and he went home. And at that time, Gary Nolan came out and said, Skywatcher, I believe it was Gary. I'm looking for the tweet. I can't find it, but I know it's out there because I remember reading this specifically. They said they're done with their observation at this time, and they are moving into the data analysis phase. Because remember, Gary Nolan had said out there, we've got some clips of him talking about this today, getting into the whole piece of, what was it? We couldn't. Backfiring today. So they stopped all observations at the time of getting the data. And Gary said, no, we're not going to bring any data out whatsoever until they have time to analyze it. Because if they bring out the data before they figure out what it is, they think people are going to go ahead and jump to conclusions and everything. And I don't agree with that. I have to say it 100%. If you've got all this data and you're going to put it through a small little pipeline of people to figure out what's going on versus open sourcing it so everybody has a chance to get to it, it just sounds like that little game that scientists want to play to keep the data to themselves. And eventually when they get wherever they get to, maybe eventually we might see part of the data, but not all of it.
Right.
So what's so secretive about it?
Right.
Because remember, Skywatcher, by January of this year, was supposed to go ahead and release information to show beyond a doubt all the different types of UFOs, that the aliens are here and all that stuff. But they all vanished in September.
Oh, you ain't kidding about how they vanished. Do you remember when they were renting that ranch out in the middle of nowhere and we showed the audience the property?
Yeah.
That they were setting all their operations up. They got the hell out of Dodge and they shut it all down, gave up the ranch and left.
Right. But
so
we're going to hear
nothing.
coming out of Ross that all these shutdowns that happened earlier this year are all due to Skywatcher. But wait a minute, Skywatcher isn't doing observations. He says they went dark. Okay, but
yeah, they ran out of money.
Yeah,
they went
for their dog whistles because apparently that's what they use to actually lure. Granted, they've got some gay left-handed guys who can do psionics to bring some of this stuff in, and that's what they claim to a degree. But the real beef is literally that technology that they lost.
Isn't this just him kind of saving face because nobody has heard from Skywatcher?
Oh, Ross?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is just more of the tabloid journalism he's been putting out there.
Yeah. I'm starting to think people are calling him to the carpet on.
No, they are. That's a good point, Darryl. You're right. We've been noticing that more and more ourselves.
Because I could have swore I saw somebody saying on X, "What happened to that Skywatcher thing, Ross?"
Yeah, where's that balloon egg that he had dangling on a rope?
Right. Where's all that?
Yeah, it disappeared.
On that note, let's get to this edition of Reality Check. We'll bounce back and forth between this, and I've got a bunch of other videos to go ahead and things from Gary Nolan, other people talking around the same time, what's up with Skywatcher, what they're doing, what they're going towards, how we're going to deal with the data, and all that kind of stuff. So let's jump to it. Here we go.
Team. Real in
one.
G'day and welcome to Reality Check Q&A, that time of the week where you get to ask me the hard questions, and there are some very interesting questions today. Here to help me through it, Megan Merrick. G'day, Megan. How are you?
Just fantastic, Ross. How about you?
Very well. Thank you very much.
Well, let's get started. I am very excited, even though I know what you're going to say. Our most asked question by far for the Q&A, you are going to answer it today. Let's get going.
Okay, so one of the questions we get asked the most on Reality Check is what happened to Skywatcher, the UAP investigation group co-founded by Jake Barber, James Fowler, and financier Alex Clokus. The last time Skywatcher posted on Twitter X was Christmas Day last year, where it reaffirmed its commitment to applying disciplined science, advanced sensing, and rigorous analysis to the UAP subject. But there's been nothing posted on the skywatcher.ai website since James Fowler left in mid-August last year to follow what he described as a new opportunity in aerial intelligence. What Alex Clokus described in the two videos they posted on their website suggested huge promise for their UAP research. Skywatcher promised that it would seek to validate the existence of UAPs by using what it calls electromechanical signaling, aka the dog whistle, and neuromeditative interaction, better known as psionic summoning or inviting of UAPs. Most dramatically, based on observations from a base here in Sierra Blanca, southeast of El Paso, Texas, the Skywatcher team reported they'd identified 9 separate classes of UAP with their sensors and video cameras. The Tetra, the Tic Tac, the Blob, the Beam, the Manta Ray, the Bright Star, the Jellyfish, the Hornet, and the Egg. Skywatcher pledged to keep the public updated about its activities, but it's a year on and there's been nothing new posted about what they've been up to. So what's really going on? This is quite a story. I understand there's been no Skywatcher field operations since July last year, and I've been trying to find out why, because more were.
Why? It was covered. And actually, August or September, they lost their dog whistle. They lost all their technology. And he knows that, by the way, folks. He knows it, but he's just playing it along like it's a tabloid.
To be happening.
Right. And it was James Fowler who left with the toys.
Yeah, exactly. We were close.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the guy that
much?
Is he the guy that was he doing all the camera work for Terror in the Sky?
No, that was David Mason.
Okay.
After Terror in the Sky finished, David Mason took all of his equipment home and left UAPX with nothing. It's kind of one of those things. Some guy is the imaging expert who has all the tech for doing this, and they make all the stuff happen. But when they get screwed around and stuff doesn't go their ways, they're like, fuck you, I'm taking my toys and going home. See you later.
But this is the guy you see on Skinwalker Ranch all the time with the camera stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought maybe there were two were
that's Dave
the same.
Mason, yes. And he lives about...
No, James, this James dude he's talking about.
James Fowler is the other one from this, but Dave Mason...
He's always on Skinwalker Ranch.
He's about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes from where I live at most.
Dude, he's always on Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
Told me by the time of that last July field operation, Skywatcher was actually working with and reporting to a number of government agencies, including NASA, the Department of Defense, and several intelligence agencies, including the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. There is no doubt that what Skywatcher has discovered and recorded was and is of huge interest to the intelligence community and the Defense Department.
Now, don't forget, on the east coast of the United States, you got ProPixel observations, who's on X, who's out there recording stuff every single day, Mike. It's out there. It's real. So they may not be calling him in like they are with Skywatcher, but he's records stuff like this. It's actually good, genuine stuff every single day.
Oh, he does amazing analysis on that channel. We covered him when he was analyzing Burleson's the video, the Hellfire missile video. Yeah, he did really good analysis on that video.
Exactly.
The inevitable suspicion is that at the very moment Skywatcher announced that it had made a momentous scientific breakthrough, was it gagged by the very group of government insiders and private aerospace insiders alleged to be guarding UAP secrets from public.
No, they weren't gagged. Gary Nolan said they're not going to release any of the data. And Gary Nolan's part of Skywatcher as well. He's one of the founding members of that as well. And he basically said, we're not going to release any of the data until we can go through everything and figure out what it is, and then maybe we will release something. I've got a video clip. So Ross again here is
misquoting.
No, he's misleading the audience because he knows all of this stuff.
He should know it if he doesn't, right?
You can see that baby arm coming out of his nose. You see the baby arm coming out of his nose in this picture.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
I'm just saying.
Did Skywatcher get shut down by the legacy gatekeepers?
No.
No, it didn't. They went into data analysis mode. The guy who had all the technology took it and left. So were they shut down by the legacy gatekeepers? No, it was shut down by the guy who had all the technology. He got a better deal from somewhere else, probably from the government or we don't know, to go ahead and take all of his equipment and move it over to the new needs.
Correct.
So it's not this big conspiracy, folks. Just saying.
No. The truth, as best as I've been able to determine it in my research over the last few weeks, is quite shockingly different. And it puts a whole different context to the spin we're getting from the Department of War's so-called Pursue releases, the UAP disclosure initiative launched by President Trump in May to declassify military and historical records on UAPs. After 4 fairly dull tranches of heavily redacted, often very blurry and frankly often very underwhelming UAP videos, I can assure you.
Why is he tearing it up? You know, it's still better than nothing. We're building up over time. But, you know, again, he discounts it to make himself sound better. But you know what? It's not as good as it could be. But you know what, Mike? It's still a hell of a lot better than getting absolutely fucking nothing like we've gotten for the last 80 years before this, right?
Yeah, well, when Luke came on the show the other day, he was making the same point.
Yeah.
Right. He's not wrong. He's right.
There we go.
President.
And by the way, if you're watching the show, you stopped and you're enjoying this stuff, haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, folks. I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 18,600 subs. We're at 550 already, Mike. It's crazy. Thank you. I appreciate it, everybody.
And we only have 84 likes. So, yeah, please like and subscribe.
Thank you.
Is most definitely not revealing all he knows. I can't name my sources for what I'm telling you about today, but I'm very sure they're rock solid. I've spoken to people in...
Yeah. Senior high officials.
I'm not going to say that's right. Nope, not at all.
Trump administration and people who are part of the ongoing military operation that I'm going to tell you about for the very first time today. You know, in this...
Oh, God, Morgan and Morgan.
Oh, shit, Ron's going to tell us what's coming out his nose. Little arms. Breaking news. I got something coming out of my nose. I got to tell y'all this story.
Okay, we got it. I think I figured out where Morgan and Morgan goes away. There we go.
Morgan and Morgan.
What time code does the thing happen with his mouth?
I'm just like wondering that myself, but it must come up.
Unless they
he probably
modified it.
I think in February this year.
Was that Daryl?
I think he goes into a different
segment.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
When airspace over El Paso, Texas, the airport, was hurriedly shut down. 6 months ago, February this year, an object or objects of some kind were detected over El Paso Airport in southern Texas near the Mexican border. At 11:30 p.m. or thereabouts on the 10th of February, the Federal Aviation Administration dramatically closed the airspace over El Paso without any or adequate warning to government agencies.
The airport's airspace suddenly shut down. At the time, they said for 10 days.
The public was initially told Mexican organised crime cartel drones were breaching the airspace with their drones, and with next to no notice to local authorities, the FAA shut a massive area over...
Right, because I believe when they were talking about this, Daryl, they had said they were using some advanced lasers or different things like that to go ahead and take these things down, and they didn't want to go ahead and potentially, interact with commercial air flight.
Right. And he's going to explain that here in a second.
Well, let's see, but he's already...
El Paso for what they said would be a 10-day shutdown.
You cannot restrict airspace over a major...
Now, here's the thing. They shut it down in the morning, but I thought by the afternoon they had already canceled the NOTAM.
It was like 10 minutes later.
Right.
Yeah, but he's going to say like it went down for days here. Listen.
For 10 days.
It didn't go for 10 days. It was shut down later that morning.
Right. He's going to talk about all that.
Yeah.
Without coordinating with the city, the airport, the hospitals.
Yeah, of course. If shit hits the fan, they're not going to coordinate with anyone. They're going to say, pull the plug, Bill. Okay. Sometimes they have to, at a moment's notice, say, hey, guys, stop.
Mm-hmm.
The community leadership, that failure to communicate is unacceptable.
As the New York Times reported, top administration officials quickly claimed that the closure was in response to a sudden incursion of drones from Mexican drug cartels, requiring a military response. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy tweeted, quote, "The threat has been neutralized." This cartel drones explanation never really made any sense. As my News Nation...
Wait a minute. Cartels with drones doesn't make any sense?
No, because they're not UAP. It doesn't fit the tabloid journalism narrative.
Oh.
Yeah, they already know what they are.
That makes sense. I got it now. That's wild, wacky stuff. I did not know that. Let's continue on. Here we go.
Border correspondent colleague Ali Bradley has detailed many times the Mexican cartels frequently fly their drones over the US border, and airspace is rarely, if ever, shut down because of these frequent incursions. Then a hint of what was really going on.
Yes, they were shooting lasers at these things to try and take them out. Their new directed energy weapons to use microwaves.
More importantly,
to go ahead and shoot at these drones and scramble their internals and make them fall from there. You know what? Also used that stuff that was very ineffective against UAP, the Ghostbusters backpacks that they had on the USS Russell, and they actually that was a battery operated pack that they wore on their backs, and they could shoot directly from these stuff and supposedly bring down drones or UAPs. Of course, it was ineffective on UAP, but they tried that on the west coast of the United States many times.
Dr. Evil tried it with sharks. With lasers on their heads.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Exactly. Here we go.
The New York Times claimed the real reason why the FAA shut down the El Paso airspace was because immigration officials had used an anti-drone weapon shared by the Pentagon without coordinating with the FAA. The Times quote...
Yeah, they had the technology sitting there and like, should we use it? I don't know. Should we use it? Let's fucking use it. Take these things down. Oh, shit. We got to shut down commercial traffic. Yeah, so they didn't consult anybody. It was a decision at that time to deal with a threat. And I would almost call that as a threat, Daryl. What kind of threat would you call that?
A national security threat. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Clinky.
Well, you have to pretend I'm holding in my drink right now. Clinky.
All right.
Audience,
clinky, take your drinky. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Caught you off guard.
Sources say...
Oh, wait a minute. Sweaty's here.
Yeah.
Sweaty, you got a drink with you?
He's muted. There he is.
He doesn't have a
drink.
God, I'm drinking solo
Sweaty.
for once. What the hell's up with that?
No, I just drank with you.
All right.
Customs Border Protection officials thought they were firing on a cartel drone, but it turned out to be a party balloon. It acknowledged Defense Department officials were present during the...
Oh, Jesus Christ, Mike. You know who they're trying to blame this on, don't you?
Oh.
Go back to Party City where you belong.
Party City shut down. There's no party balloons anymore, guys. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
They're out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, they're always going to say, oh, that was okay. It was just a party balloon. Don't worry about it, guys.
Neither the Defense Department, nor Homeland Security, nor the FAA offered any further comment. I think it's an insult to everyone's intelligence to suggest that the Defense Department, the Department of War, couldn't distinguish a drone from a balloon.
Come on, Ross. They're not stupid. What you need to go ahead and say, you know what we're seeing here, folks? It's not that they can't tell the difference between a drone or a balloon. As Tim Burchett would say, it's a fucking cover-up. Right? Why does he act so stupid in things like this? My God. Well, then again, he is an Australian journalist, and this is how they kind of operate. So that's
don't brand all the
60 Minutes Australian, how well it turned out for you.
Don't brand all the Australian.
Yeah, man, don't let them all together, man.
Ross.
It's just him.
Jesus. No, it's the country.
We're going to lose our Australian audience.
If Susan was here, she'd tell you it's the country.
Oh, okay, probably, yeah.
Then, just 7 hours after the FAA imposed its El Paso shutdown, the restriction was lifted early the next morning around 7 a.m. Unsurprisingly, lawmakers were rightly skeptical about this shutdown explanation. Republican Texas Senator Ted Cruz, the chairman of the Senate Commerce Committee,
Lion Ted Cruz, Lion Ted,
that oversees the FAA, demanded a classified briefing on what really happened. He wasn't believing it, and neither should he. Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island, the top Democrat on the Armed Services Committee, rejected the administration's explanation. Wow. 6 months on, no one in Congress has ever revealed anything about what they were told in those classified briefings.
Yeah, because it was fucking classified. Oh, well, wait a minute. Your sources haven't told you in good faith. And what happened? Ross, what happened? You always have your sources. Oh, guess he didn't this time. And thank you very much, Chris, PX7QR. Not that one. Wait a minute. Right there. Wrong one. DEFCON 1 Sky King Chandler. Thank you very much for the $20 super chat. We're fan funded. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. As we have 559 people watching. Welcome, everybody. Have a good time. Let's celebrate disclosure and go after it. And if you like this stuff on the way out, subscribe. I'd love to have you. Honestly, let's have some more fun.
So what's really going on? My first clue came when I checked what are called the TFRs, the FAA records for temporary flight restrictions. This is a NOTAM, a safety advisory to aviators, posted by the Federal Aviation Administration on 8th November last year, closing a massive area of airspace southeast of El Paso right through to the 7th November this year. It deemed this area as national defense airspace, warning pilots that any breach of the airspace would allow them to be intercepted, detained, and interviewed. It authorized the US government to use deadly force if the aircraft posed an imminent threat to security. And here's where things start getting very interesting, because this area, known as Sierra Blanca, is exactly where Skywatcher was doing its operations until July last year. Months after Skywatcher ceased official operations at Sierra Blanca, the Defense Department shut down their airspace. But something happened to reverse this decision, because this TFR was cancelled 6 days later on the 14th of November, 2025. I figure it's unlikely to be a coincidence that the one area shut down by the FAA, presumably on the orders of the Defense Department, is exactly where Skywatcher ran its operations until July last year. I've also learned that the TFR, the shutdown, was initiated by the Defense Department's Joint Special Operations Command, liaison to the FAA, and that it was imposed to, quote, shoot down drones. El Paso this time was excluded from the airspace shutdown. Only the exact airspace over Skywatcher's zone of operations was affected.
Wait a minute, though. Skywatcher was shut down. How is this the Skywatcher area of operation? And also, I'd have to say, why would Skywatcher be extending their area into the country of Mexico?
They wouldn't. That's why. And we did research on this before the show, if you remember today. The temporary or TFR restrictions were because in that area, the government was dealing with and testing electronic warfare for GPS. And they didn't want civilian aircraft to come into it and have a loss of their GPS signal. That was what was actually going on.
Right.
Not what Ross is talking about
so
now.
He's mixing things up with information that's not available as far as we know. He's going to say Skywatcher went dark, but the truth is if Skywatcher went dark, their technology that they use to bring these things in is gone. So
it left with James Fowler. Yeah. So he's speculating without a shred of evidence.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. But that's all right. We're covering it. We're putting the audience on the right track.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
No doubt that this 1 year long airspace closure effectively shut down any further Skywatcher operations over the Sierra Blanca range. This is what the El Paso shutdown looked like in February when a TFR was placed over the entire city and airport. Here's the scale of the El Paso shutdown relative to the White Sands missile range to the north. There was also another airspace shutdown that same 11 February date of the El Paso temporary flight restriction, again for special security reasons. It covered a huge area to the west of El Paso. Well, I finally learned what happened. Defence sources tell me that their observers were watching on during Skywatcher's Sierra Blanca operation, and they made a major discovery during Skywatcher's psionic summoning and dog whistle operations during 2025, including in that last July 2025 test. At exactly the same time that Skywatcher was doing its operations at Sierra Blanca, 200 miles to the northwest, UAP swarms suddenly began appearing in great numbers over the White Sands missile range.
And if this happened, there should be records of this that should be FOIA-able, right?
Absolutely. And I'm sure that the news, at least the local news, would have been reporting on it. Maybe. They haven't.
Yeah.
To the northwest of El Paso. The U.S. Defense Department's White Sands missile range in New Mexico, known as WSMA, is north of El Paso, where the supposed party balloon sighting had shut down the airport in February. New Mexico, 81 years ago, the first atomic bomb, codenamed Trinity, was test detonated at WSMA. At the end of World War II, the U.S. tested 100 captured German atomic V-2 rockets. Holloman Air Force Base, also long speculated to be the scene of anomalous craft sightings, borders WSMA to the east.
That static was from them, not from me. Just double checking.
White Sands is the premier military test range in America, the birthplace of the US missile and space technology. Any disruption of WSMA's airspace by UAPs, unidentified objects of any kind, is a major national security threat. While it appears that Skywatcher is indeed defunct, it's been dissolved as a business entity, I suspect key individuals from the Skywatcher team are now working with the Defence War Department at the White Sands range. It would make sense they're using the Skywatcher experts because I'm told that from November last year until now, the United States government, in a joint operation with multiple intelligence and defence agencies, has been using these airspace shutdowns, these TFRs, to do its own UAP intercept operations. Yes, they have been summoning, detecting, and yes, shooting down what some call drones, others UAPs.
So if they're shooting down drones, that makes sense. But if they're knowingly going ahead, trying to attract and bring in UAP to go ahead and shoot them down, okay, they'll get the first one. they'll be able to shoot it down. But if this is a advanced, civilization, very intelligent, the first time it'll work, like with the Borg, right? But the subsequent times to go ahead and do this stuff, do you think they're stupid? I mean, it's not like, Michael, it's not like you're going ahead and bringing out a goose call going, trying to bring in the freaking Canadian geese. You know what I mean? You've hunted before, if you're not. My brothers did all the time in Illinois. And the whole thing is you got a stupid animal who's going to hear the call and be like, okay, let's go ahead and land and get their asses blasted out of the fucking air. That's what it's about. But do you think an advanced civilization that's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of years more advanced than us is going to just come in willy-nilly here and there and just allow themselves to be blasted out of the air again and again and again? That would just seem like, okay, you've got something that's really stupid that's not advanced that you're collecting, but it's not really the meat and potatoes.
Intelligent.
Hey, Daryl?
It's not intelligent.
No.
Thomas, what is the mark that you're at right now?
18 minutes and 25 seconds.
I have been just examining this video, and you're not going to believe what I found. So,
what did you find?
It doesn't happen until 24/20. But
okay, 24/20, we're going to see the moving boxes effect.
Let me just tell you something.
Yeah.
It happens after that.
Really?
It happens after. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, I'm like looking at her area that we were talking about to see if maybe there's anything going on there.
No. It's not the camera feed. It's not a lighting issue. It's not a coloring issue. It's not like when they had WGN and they did a color test and they brought up the color bars and stuff, and they took the banana that was supposed to be yellow and they colored it purple, and they fucked up with a bunch of the other things. So when WGN went to go ahead with its affiliates and went to go ahead and dial in all their colors, they were completely screwed because of the team.
People are, some people are
the
coming.
lips will talk. Just wait, guys. Just wait.
Let the,
okay.
Watch this play out unbelievably.
But wait, there's more.
That's fucking crazy.
Oh, but you're back. There you go. Clinky, clinky.
Oh. Clinky, clinky.
Hey,
take your alien drinky.
There we go, folks. Let's enjoy. That's to the audience as well, my friends. Here we go.
Airspace was closed to stop any other non-government activity so that the government had a secure location from where it could summon, detect, and shoot down UAPs, craft. This has been happening. To be clear, I'm told...
Daryl, we need a fucking survey on this.
Oh, shit. You're going to... Wait a minute. Okay, hold on.
Well, keep on playing. Get a survey ready for this before we hit the 24-minute mark.
Oh,
we need to do a survey on this. It's just so much.
I've already got to pull up in the back to do a survey. So what do you want to say?
Be Ross's claims. Believe it or not. Like it's Ripley's believe it or not. You either believe what he says or you don't. Believe it or not. Unless the audience has some other great ideas.
I'm just not typing very well. Okay, here we go.
I like that idea, Thomas.
Let's go ahead and do it. Yes, we got that coming up here, folks. Let's go ahead. Yes, that sound effect. That is our pulsing logo. It's way too fucking loud. Let me go ahead and turn it down for audience a little bit. That means we got a survey going. Let me go ahead and find the survey and bring it up, and let's go ahead and see where it goes. Ross's claims, believe it or not. Yes. 34%. You would have said Ross's claims, believe it would have been yes, or not would have been no. But either way, 36% of our audience is saying yes. 64% of our audience is saying no. And the reason I bring this up, the attorney, the EBs out there, EBEs, extra biological entities out there, he always called Ross like Ripley's Believe It or Not. And I think it's a pretty honest one. All right, would you look at that with, okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute, please.
Would you look at that?
1 minute.
With a minute left to go, we got 100 votes in already. Holy cow, 66% to 34%. It's not going to change much, but I appreciate everyone. And you don't even have to subscribe to vote, folks. If you're watching TV, get out your iPhone, your Android, and bring it up and jump in and vote. But can't wait to see where it's going to go. But it looks like, my gosh, we could have 70%, 30%, but you never know. We're 107 votes. We're just 34 seconds left to go. Let's go ahead and get to it. We're almost there, but you know what? There's no way for the yeses to win. So
no, but I'm really really trying to think of what the next poll is going to be, because it's going to be a juicy one.
Oh, well, put it together and have it ready to go.
I have to wait until this is done.
Next poll should be, are those little arms coming out of Ross's nose?
No. We could use your.
All right, there we go. Our poll is done. We hit a minute and actually about 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and end this poll. Thank you very much for the audience for going and participating. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. Ross's claims, believe it or not, 67% of the audience is not believing Ross. 2/3 versus 1/3. So clearly we have a winner. So let's continue on. Here we go. Waiting for the big reveal.
Defense Department is using the same so-called dog whistle, electromechanical signaling, and psionic summoners, neuromeditative interaction, as Skywatcher's team was doing at Sierra Blanca. It also perhaps explains why, if members of Skywatcher are working with the Defense Department, why Skywatcher has gone very quiet.
We know why they've went quiet. They went quiet because they're no longer collecting data. So your whole theory that they're doing stuff in Sierra Bianca and doing all this other stuff, show us the proof. Show us your sources. Oh, that's right.
You don't have any.
Can't.
Right.
The Department of War has quite literally...
Yeah, Cosdy, except for all those moles and rolls.
Yeah, they went dark, Skywatcher, because they dissolved the corporation, left the premises where they had the ranch, and they ran out of money.
The corporation is still there. They're still doing their stuff. They've just gone into, lockdown mode.
Yeah, they stopped functioning and operating.
I mean, just like when we had A Terror in the Sky, the movie that came out, they said they were going to release all the data, but it took Kevin Knuth 2 years to get through the data, and he still hasn't released all of it so far.
No. Right.
Because it's so good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the problem with operations like this.
Yeah.
And
we'll probably never see it.
Covert operation to intercept these mystery objects. And I'm told they have recently downed objects, craft, both in the US and across the border near Juarez in Mexico. I am also told by White House sources...
Okay, so they're shooting down things over the border, and our military is going across the border to recover these things.
Sure, why not? We operate inside Mexico all the time.
Oh, come on, throw it a pound of 50s and I'll believe it.
Right.
You don't knowingly go ahead and try and shoot down something in another country. Let's just say that.
Right.
Oh, boy.
President Trump has personally authorized this operation.
Bullshit.
Which perhaps explains why...
Okay. Some people don't like Trump. Some people do like Trump. The thing is, I don't think he's that stupid. A lot of people would disagree that he would go ahead and try and shoot this shit down because he's not getting the information from the legacy program. He wants it himself, and he's going to go ahead and actively work to shoot these things down and start literally Galactic War 1. Not going to happen.
No full admission has yet been made to the public about the full extent of what the government really knows. There is a full-on effort underway by the administration to recover suspected non-human intelligence exotic technology in a program totally separate from the so-called legacy program. This is an attempt by the president to circumvent the legacy program. It's been run out of the White House by the president's most senior intelligence advisors. President Trump...
I mean, Stephen Miller. Pretty much is his most trusted advisor from everything. Or in other words, this is coming from his National Security Council. Okay. I'm never going to trust this schmuck to go ahead and bring
You
it
just
down.
said national security, by the way, so I took a drink without you.
Thank you, sir. Clinky, clinky.
Clinky, clinky. Take your
Clinky. Come on, out the other side.
Other side, other side.
There we go. Clear, my friend. Thank you.
has tasked the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to find out what these objects are and to capture them. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence, OVNI, is also involved.
Hold on.
Sources have told me that one of the...
I got to bring this up. Did you just hear how we pronounce the ODNI?
Yeah. OVNI?
OVNI.
I like your new OVNI, man. What is that?
I've never heard, in all my history being a human on this life, I mean human, on this fucking earth, in this life, national security not included or not included, I've never heard any schmuck call it OVNI.
OVNI. That's like, what is it? Some congressman called World War. Some congressman called
CIA, right?
Yeah, but some congressman recently in the last year called World War II. What was it?
WW11.
Yes, that's.
You know that was, right?
I'm not saying anything.
Was it AOC,
I don't want to be.
Or is it the one
it's someone
from,
on the team,
Minnesota?
Yeah. So what's her name? Yeah, that girl.
Energy weapons
yeah.
systems used at White Sands in an attempt to shoot down these mystery craft is what's called high pulse microwave. It shuts down an aircraft by emitting an intense burst of electromagnetic energy that travels at the speed of light, penetrates the aircraft, and fries its electronic systems. My sources tell me that the craft, objects, UAPs, whatever you want to call them, are being targeted over White Sands, and they definitely show anomalous properties, conforming to the 5 observables that define UAPs.
So they're seeing low observability. That's not part of the 5 observables. Instantaneous acceleration. I guess hypersonic velocity, transmedium travel, not anti-gravity and low observability. What the fuck is he talking about? This is not the 5 observables that were put out there by Alu. There's actually 6 now.
I mean, that's not even how they're explained.
Jesus Christ, I have to go to AI on this one. Give me a second here.
That's not a doll holler. Instantaneous acceleration was one, but hypersonic velocity wasn't. Low observability, no. Transmedium, no. Well, no.
Yeah, he just put up big words.
Transmedium part of the 5 could be. Yeah.
Yeah, he put up big words in front of the screen. That's what it is.
Yeah, transmedium is down.
Yeah, so number 1 and 4.
Okay.
Out of 5, 2 out of 5.
Okay, I went to
bad.
Grok. Sorry, I'm going to get the answer on this because it's going to be easier. 5 observables. It is positive lift or anti-gravity, instantaneous acceleration, hypersonic velocity, I guess low observability, cloaking, and transmedium travel. So those are the 5. So
that doesn't sound right, but I'll.
No, that really doesn't sound right.
No,
I could have swore Lou. Is that what you said? Did you plug in? What did Lou Elizondo say?
What are Lou Elizondo's 5 observables? Go ahead and search it, folks. We'll get.
Was that presented by Ross Coulthart?
No.
There's no visible means of propulsion, no jets, no turbines, no propellers, no rocket motors. They have instantaneous maneuvers, hypersonic velocities, stealth mode. What's concerning is that I'm being told the president is not getting the full story about what's being recovered. There's a concern he's being snowed with an explanation that these are just foreign adversary drones. It's being...
No, they're not adversaries. They're fucking adversaries. Let's get it straight. God.
Bear in the room.
Jesus Christ. So it's instantaneous acceleration, hypersonic velocity without signatures, low observability / signal management, transmedium travel, positive lift with anti-gravity characteristics and biological effects. There's actually 6 observables, not 5.
Anti-gravity, sudden and instantaneous.
We're over 600 people in the audience right now, Thomas.
All right, 607. So if you're having a fun time, folks, you jumped in, you're a part of our regular subscribers, make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you haven't stopped in, you're enjoying what we're doing here. We're serious about not being serious, but having a good time talking about UFOs. Do us a favor, give us a subscribe. We'd love to have you back here as a regular. The only way we're going to get there is help with people like you. And I don't have the old phone calls. Do I have them in here? I'll pull out the old ones and we'll have a bunch of them all going at the same time. I promise. No, we're not going to do that. So please, my friends, subscribe. Here we go.
As a possibility, I'm told, that some of these objects may be Chinese or other foreign adversary drones doing intelligence or surveillance.
So we've got Chinese drones doing this stuff, Mike.
And Mexican cartel balloons, according to Ross.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. Tabloid journalism at its best.
What is one
so
of
I want to get to the 24-minute mark like Dow told us.
Sensitive military test ranges. But what is being detected is without doubt far beyond any known conventional human technology. If these are Chinese spy drones, then the Chinese have cracked super advanced stealth propulsion systems with no visible means of propulsion. The fear also...
Fucking Chinese haven't done that. My God.
...is that this secret operation, authorized and being run by the White House on the orders of the president, is compromised. That some of the people in the multiple agencies brought into this now massive operation are part of the covert legacy program that has been retrieving and attempting to reverse engineer NHI craft for decades. Understandably, the president wants the US to have and to know all about these exotic technologies. But is he being told the full story by those he trusts to keep him briefed?
I think he goes to another pan of himself here, but in case he doesn't, everybody just look at Ross's lips right now and see that there's nothing there to see.
His lips look normal.
Nothing there to see.
Nothing there to see.
All right, now play the video.
I'm told he's not. If the president intends to disclose to the public what they're discovering over at White Sands, then this is potentially a huge development for UAP disclosure. But what he plans to do with the information he gets and the exotic technology he recovers is not yet clear. And by the way, I'm told the object that was detected and fired at over El Paso, Texas, that started all the public hullabaloo was most definitely not a party balloon or a cartel drone. It was most definitely anomalous.
Who?
Okay, now let's see what happens. She's talking to him, and now pay attention to Ross's lips.
Do you think Skywatcher would get in bed with government entities such as the CIA and other aforementioned ones there in the first place? It seems a little contrary to the mission of...
What the fuck is that?
I'm just going to say I was right all along.
That's pretty crazy.
Why do you think Skywatcher would get in bed with government entities such as the CIA and other aforementioned ones there in the first place? It seems a little...
I'm just saying, well, when this all happened a few weeks ago, you noticed this, Thomas? Do you see my picture by any chance?
He is not moving, though. He didn't have a box hit him in the face.
Do you see my icon? Do
yeah,
you see
we got the little hand reaching out and getting the lips. Yeah.
We got the three dots.
Little arm is there, but you just can't see it as good.
To the mission of disclosure straight from the people.
That's a good question. I can't speak for Skywatcher, but...
What happened to him?
Just saying the alien came out.
What the hell is even that?
Herpes.
I suspect that.
The alien came out. I'm telling
Did
you.
Did he rub his mouth or something and all the makeup went off?
No. That looks like herpes cold sauce to me.
Choice.
All right, so it doesn't get any better
the operation
for Ross at this point
down with the TFR
for the rest of the video.
Sierra Blanca range.
And I do have a poll ready to go.
And where's the turtle?
Are you ready for the poll, Thomas?
Take it.
All right, here you go.
Yeah, Thomas Fessler. At least it's not herpes. Yeah, I know. I had to say that. That's just, everyone's thinking it, right? So if everyone's thinking it, how can I, not acknowledge what people are saying, Daryl?
Could have been both. Represented baby Ellie.
Where's the poll at, man? It's already taken off.
Well, I'm not. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's right, because I was going to go start a poll myself. All right. At least it's not herpes, or is it? 42% of our audience is saying yes, it is. 58% is saying no, it's the alien baby arm.
So, Mike,
how did that go from like this?
That's what I'm saying. But you can see the alien baby arm coming out right there. It's already started to come out.
Oh my God. I lost the fucking chat already. God damn it. There we go. No, all right. Oh God. 47% is saying yes. We're almost at a 50-50 break. Okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute.
And in case anybody doesn't understand where at least it's not herpes comment came from, that came from Thomas when he was interviewing Lou Elizondo. And Lou Elizondo was talking about how he got hit in the face with a 50-pound box and left a mark on his face. And
Thomas gave him a black eye, too.
Thomas goes, at least it's not herpes.
I said that because my old dear friend, Jerry Von Eyck, who used to live next door, his wife that he married, God, she was a cunt. She had herpes and of course gave it to Jerry. So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
And Mike jumped in and said, isn't that where you usually get herpes from? A 50-pound box? So,
or maybe even an alien. Illegal. Right.
Now the next poll should be, if you examine between his anus and genitals, would he have the same spots?
Thank you, Kelly. You're cute too. But I always have to fantasize with Kelly's sounds like voice. Does she have a little bit of an Irish sound to you? Probably not.
He comes in the back chat.
She never
when
has.
we end the show. She has. Oh no, Megan Betts has. That's right. Yes. Yeah, my mistake.
No. Yep. There we go. So, all right. So let's go ahead and end this poll and put it down for posterity's sake.
Wait, one more vote. Get 100.
Huh?
Did you already end it? There was one more away from 100.
99 votes in, close enough.
Oh, come on, 100. One more person.
of our audience said yes.
One more person makes it exactly 100%.
I know, but I already ended it, so we got to move on.
Oh.
All right, let's get back to this. Here we go.
Frankly, they have private equity funders who wanted a bang for their buck, and the government was offering them that opportunity.
See that now.
I can't really criticize Skywatcher for taking up the offer, because if the president is genuinely doing this for the purposes of informing the public eventually, I think it's a laudable initiative. The concerns that my sources have is that the president is not being told the full story.
Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals.
There you go.
My understanding
Where
is
has
being
this
told
show
or being
gone?
led to believe that what's being detected are highly advanced Chinese drones, which I'm told is possibly the case for one or two of the objects.
Her eyes are really bugging out now. Are people saying stuff in the chat or something?
But not for all of the objects.
You've said multiple times on Reality Check that Jake Barber should be called into Congress to testify under oath, that he would be a good witness. Do you think that some of this plays a part into why he's not being called? Because some of the truths he could offer are just not, we're just not ready for him yet.
Doesn't matter. Kind of getting it off your lips. It's not going to go away, Ross. You already got rid of your lipstick.
Look, I share Jake's cynicism about the genuine intent of Congress to actually be straight with the public. I'm pretty sure there are people in Congress that know about this covert operation, and they've been lying to you and to me and to the general public about what they know. I think that what's happened is that this has been concealed behind the excuse and the explanation that it was a covert operation to down mystery drones, foreign adversary drones. They're not foreign adversary.
God, if they lied to that shit and they didn't tell the president about this and he found out they fucking lied to him and told him something else.
Oh, they'd be fired and probably in jail.
Instantly. It's like he doesn't know the president like we know the president. I'm not surprised.
Right. Drones at all in the main, and they know that. And I suspect that there are key members of Congress, particularly on the key oversight committees, who know this very, very well. So I share Jake's cynicism that Congress is actually serious with the public about this. And frankly, it really does put a complexion on the whole Pursue initiative.
Yeah, the complexion is on your lips, my friend.
If the president's being straight with us, he will offer an explanation as to whether, for example, the King Air aircraft that was down over or near White Sands, whether that aircraft was hit by HPM weapons or any kind of weaponry that was being used in one of these operations.
Doesn't
I'm
it
told
look like
from my own sources that there have been craft incidentally brought down, civilian aircraft brought down as an accident by high pulse microwaves during legacy operations that have taken place in other parts of the United States targeting UAP craft. I know this is a big stretch for people because, frankly, at the moment, we still have the mythology where the Pentagon, the White House are pushing the line that we still don't know what these objects are, but we're doing our level best to investigate them. They're far better informed than they're letting on, and it may very well be they've taken the decision that they need to do this for national security imperatives. I can kind of understand that. But what I can't understand is why they're putting civilians at risk. We now know that...
Oh, God. Jim Lujan, 333. I think he says it the best. I've seen it before. Those are disclosure dots.
Oh my God.
I'm almost wondering if those, did he take a bite of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a chocolate chip? Somebody said chocolate chip cookie in between. I mean, no, he didn't do that because
Someone
they
would
don't
have
film
said,
it
hey,
that way.
Ross, clean your mouth. And if the producer didn't tell your guy that, hey, you got chocolate all over your mouth, you need to clean it off.
It didn't happen that way. There's no way that happened that way. He must have. I mean, know what the hell he did.
Maybe he wiped off the makeup that was covering it.
He did, because he keeps drinking out of his cup, and it took the lipstick off, and now we're seeing these disclosure dots.
Well, so she's not in Australia, as you pointed out, Thomas. He's in Australia. So they're filming this at the same time. It's maybe it is one-on-one. Maybe it's like this. And maybe he just figured he can cut the part out where he takes a bite of something.
No.
Or
He
wipes
keeps drinking.
his face.
He's not biting anything, no.
Yeah.
The lipstick got wiped off.
Because the lip on the top, the dot on the top, it's not as bad as it first was. That's what I'm saying. It seems like there's something, like he's gotten something as it looked.
Used by the White Sands missile range
alien.
accidentally caused
See
the
how much
deaths
bigger
of
it
4
was?
people in a medevac aircraft. Now, we
It
don't
was
know
way
for sure
bigger.
that was connected to the covert operation that I'm describing. But we do know that very dangerous weapons are being used, which is why they shut down the El Paso airspace. The real story is that they have been using these weapons to try to shoot down NHI technology. And I think we're getting to the point now, so many people are leaking to me about this, I think we're getting to the point now where it's unsustainable for the government to maintain this fictional cover story that this was either a party balloon over El Paso, Texas, or a cartel drone. You do not shut down a very busy city in America just because a cartel drone or a balloon floats into the airspace. Doesn't make sense. The bigger explanation, and I think I can't speak for Jake. I've not been in a position to be able to question him about this, but I know he's deeply skeptical from the times I was encouraging him. He has given evidence, by the way, to the Congress. I took him there. We actually took him to the Congress, and he sat down with a committee and gave his evidence. So the Congress has Jake's evidence. They know what he knows. And I'm sure if he was asked, he's a patriot, he would probably want to give his evidence, but it has to be in a way that can be trusted. The simple fact is, there are a lot of people playing double games right now, claiming to be pro-disclosure, especially in Congress, and frankly, they're bullshitting you.
Do you have any idea where these down craft are being taken?
No idea at all. I'm not privy to any of what's happened once they've been taken away by the retrieval teams.
All right, well, thank you for that awesome report. Really good reporting there, and I know the viewers are really going to appreciate that.
What I can say, Megan, is I'm privy to a lot of material that I haven't put here, and I've been very careful because I want to respect national security constraints. I'm aware of units, individuals, and specific orders. And I really do think that it's time for the Defense Department, the Department of War, the President, the entire administration to realize that there are people who are genuinely concerned that the President is not being told the full story about what's going on his behalf at the White Sands Missile Range. And God help us, The mere fact that a civilian aircraft has been caused to crash by operations at White Sands Missile Range, which are not necessarily part of this operation, but part of an exercise, illustrates just how dangerous this can be. And frankly, it needs to be put on a secure footing with accountability to Congress and full public transparency. Frankly, I think if we are targeting NHI technology, if there's a possibility that there is a biological entity on board those craft, a living, intelligent, advanced being, what does it say about our potential first contact with a non-human intelligence?
Yes, we've already done that, but if we bring down a craft, we've already talked about this, 20% of our audience believes that the government will treat these things with respect. 82% of our audience says no, they will not treat these things with respect. What that means that they're going to go ahead and take care of it and help it get back to where it needs to go and everything else. No, they're going to rip it apart. They're going to tear it apart. They're going to go ahead and do whatever experiments they need to get to it. And that's just a life that no life form deserves.
Thomas, you missed a national security spoken by Ross.
Oh.
Yeah, and I just want to say that the claims that Ross is making about commercial air flights being brought down accidentally by the U.S. military, there would be records of that. The FAA would be well aware of it. So would the regular news. They'd be covering it. That never happened. And there's no proof to say that it did.
Oh, there's all kinds of independent plane watching people that would have recorded that.
Oh, of course they would have.
Clinky, clinky, Daryl.
Clinky, clinky. The FAA knows what it's doing.
There we go.
Flight Radar 24 works round the clock watching all air traffic. If something would have been shot down, we would have been hearing about it.
Oh, wait. Is that shit gone now? Or is it that's just his lower lip covering it?
That's just his lower lip is covering it up.
This is a new, well, it's still there. It's still on the lower lip.
Time for the Defense Department, the Department of War, the President, the entire administration to realize that there are people who are genuinely concerned about a living, intelligent, advanced being. What does it say?
All right. So let's jump on. We've all heard from Ross talking about this stuff. We've let our audience know. I think our audience, great hat on your shoulders, friends, for hanging out and seeing this. So, this is a nasty one. It came out today that we were silenced, deplatformed, censored, demonetized, and called every name in the book because we tried to warn about the COVID vaccine. We were right. According to raw data, 82% of women who took the second dose during their first trimester miscarried. 82%. Now, Fauci knew that the shot could cause miscarriages, admitted it privately, then lied to the public. Fauci belongs in the deepest, darkest hole we have. What kind of monster could do this? Yeah, folks, this is the truth that's coming out today. He knew about this shit, but he told people to go out there and get the second and get it. So, yeah, that was in my news briefing for today. All right, so we got that one taken care of. We got the Ross taken care of there. This is, all right, another email, more texts that reveal the Biden era. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy responded to Fauci's concern about COVID vaccine in a pregnant woman by adding, quote, "I've been hearing concern about the mRNA causing mutations and the developing fetus as well. None of these concerns were ever made public." So they're purposefully polluting, destroying the human genome, killing babies because it was the right thing to do. That's just fucking horrible. All right. So, but I did have to cover this because we are Disclosure tonight, but you see shit like that going on. Doesn't matter what party you're from. That fucker deserves to go ahead and be put to death. Let's get to it. All right. Department of War, we've got that one. We've got this one here. All right. So this is a, so Ross was talking about UFOs that were coming down to White Sands, right, Mike? So
yes, Thomas, correct.
So here we've got Dr. Eric Weinstein.
Yes.
On Joe Rogan, talking about. I know about some of these UAP at White Sands in El Paso, but I can't tell you. Now, this isn't the kind of guy to go ahead and string people along like Ross, is he?
He's the exact opposite of Ross. So making a claim like he did on Joe Rogan is, I think, very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
Let's play this clip.
What is going on with the technology and what we're seeing? We've lost control of some airspace. That's what I believe is. I don't know that to be true, but I believe with very high probability.
And you think that's what San Antonio is about?
San Antonio.
No, I'm sorry, El Paso.
Yeah, I believe that El Paso is not about cartel drones. That's true.
Okay.
I mean, that's not to say that there isn't a cartel drone here or there, but I don't think we shut down airspace in
Right.
El Paso to deal with cartel drones.
Right. So what were the experiences that people were reporting, and what do you know about what happened in El Paso?
Well, there's what I know, which is all secondhand. So what I can say I know firsthand is the reporting of various things by various people. But I probably had 5+ conversations about White Sands. People who don't know each other are not connected. So whoever is supposed to be keeping White Sands a secret failed.
Okay, so
I believe that White Sands has an infestation problem with stuff that is either not ours or is being blue team, red teamed ours and not told to our people. How would you deal with the following puzzle? So maybe we're putting our own one group is putting our drones or something in the air.
Right.
And another group is being told, how would you deal with this problem? We've lost control of our airspace, but something is going on in New Mexico.
What was the descriptions of these drones? What does it say here? Airspace at the center of the brief but highly publicized incident, February 11, 2026, FAA abruptly announced a 10-day shutdown of the airspace over El Paso International Airport. The restriction was lifted after just a few hours. Pentagon anti-drone testing. The Pentagon was testing high-energy laser counter-drone technology out of the nearby Fort Bliss military base. The FAA grounded commercial flights out of an abundance of caution because of the unannounced testing. Cartel drone activity. Officials from the Trump administration cited incursions from Mexican drug cartel drones breaching U.S. airspace as the primary reason for the defense systems were deployed in the first place. Lack of communication. White House officials later noted that the FAA administrator implemented the surprise flight ban without notifying the Pentagon, Department of Homeland Security, or White House officials. That seems crazy.
This story doesn't hang together.
That part doesn't hang together at all.
Well, that's the thing.
The FAA implemented a flight ban without notifying the Pentagon, the Department of Homeland Security, or the White House officials. That doesn't even seem legal.
Joe,
but I don't know.
He really wants to talk there, doesn't he, Mikey?
Oh my God, yes. If
just
he was able to just say whatever's on his mind publicly, I think it would be a real interesting conversation, Thomas.
Yeah, there we go.
But I don't know.
You and I both have at least 105 IQs. These are like 65 IQ stories.
Yeah. The Mexican drone cartel one seems like a dopey narrative.
But maybe there are actually Mexican drones.
I'm sure the cartels have drones.
So the cartels have drones, and we're going to use the fact that El Paso is close to White Sands.
But what was the reported drone activity? Do you know anything about it? Like what supposedly? Yeah.
Not going to say.
Ooh.
No.
Mysterious.
Hardly being mysterious. I'm saying as much as I can.
I understand.
But here's the thing.
I'm joking around.
Okay.
But I mean, I'd like to know, like what.
Right, but I'm.
Tell me later.
No.
Shit.
No, it's not like that. Look. Oh, fuck you both.
Let's play that awesome music again. He loves.
There's a video from the AP put out just 4 days ago that says there is a cartel attacking lots of people.
Well, I'm sure there's cartel drones.
What I'm trying to say is,
of course, they definitely have drones.
Every single person who knows how to keep a secret knows how to use the truth to hide a lie.
Right, of course.
So
and that's
okay. So there we go. His take on what was going on down there. Let me get back to where I was just at in my bookmarks, and I want to be out of this particular one. And there's a video in here I wanted to get to. All right, so this is a video from March 12th this year, reported by Skywatch Signal. This is coming from the Soul Foundation, and this is talking about the dog whistle technology that James Fowler has and everything that's about it. Let's see what he has to say here. Again, we're trying to get into the truth on the overall technology that's out there, what they're kind of bringing forward and what it can do. So let's see where they're coming from. The hell is even that? There we go. Let's turn that off. Let's get this going, and let's get to James Fowler and the Soul Foundation. I'll have to find out what the original video is, but I will hide all bookmarks because this is their property and we respect them greatly. Here we go.
So that began the development of the dog whistle. Now, the dog whistle started out as, well, as a baseline, we knew what we were doing in 21 when we had the observation. So in 22, we said, what can we do else to what we were doing already to enhance, right? So the dog whistle is comprised of radar. The radar provides us the ability to observe the UAP. Frankly, for the first 3 years, we never saw them on radar. We had to change things. We had to make new load sets, bring on the right personnel, the right scientists to make adjustments to our technology. In fact, for the first 2.5 years, we didn't think that they were visible on radar. So we used other tools like signals and direct observations with imaging equipment. So,
oh shit, sorry, didn't mean to do that.
So really helped with imaging equipment. So that's kind of how we grew to refine the dog whistle. Now today we refined it even further. We use some discrete signals in conjunction with our activities and tactics on the ground. And then the radar enables us to actually, now we see everything on radar. And every time we see a UAP, we see it on radar as well. So that really helps us because now we can make more astute observations and actually learn a lot. Fortunately and unfortunately, the process of running these events and using the dog whistle generates tremendous amounts of data. And the unfortunate part of that is that data is expensive. It's hard to look at the data. It's an onerous task. So part of our burden at Skywatcher has been, well, we've generated lots of data running these fun events. We ran 6 events in 2024 and 5. Between those events, we have a very large pool of data. And the task now is normalizing the data so that, you know, a scientist shouldn't have to be a data scientist, right? A scientist should be able to have the data curated for them to view it, analyze it, and conduct their analysis. And that's the challenge we have today is there's vast amounts of data. It has to go through that process to be curated so that it can be used internally to Skywatcher and beyond.
Excellent, thank you. Do you want to maybe provide an overview of some of the specific observations that you've seen out in the field?
Yeah, sure. Actually, let's go to the, let's continue because we're going to get really into that in the next couple slides. So, so observations are increasing. When we first started making observations in 21, we saw one UAP or one fleet of UAPs. But now, if you'd have told me in 2022, 23, even 24 that I would get sent videos from people on cell phones seeing the same things we're seeing, I wouldn't have believed you because we never saw a UAP with a naked eye until 2025 at Skywatcher. Until that point, we'd only observed them on radar and on cameras, high magnification, electro-optical, infrared cameras. So part of the reason why we never made observations with our own eyes is because they were so far away. You know, a small object, a 2-3 meter object coming in 3 to 5 kilometers away is very hard to see. In fact, a lot of people that see UAPs don't actually observe the UAP. They observe reflections of the UAP. A lot of UAPs are very reflective. And so you'll see the sun glinting off of the surfaces of the UAPs as they fly.
And if it's going faster than 2,000 miles an hour, the human eye cannot see the object. It's invisible. So There's a bunch of reasons why we don't see the things that are over our head every single day. And as what a dear friend has told us in the past, Mike, what was it again? That if people could go ahead and see all the UAP that are flying in the sky above where they're at right now, what would happen to them, Mike? They'd shit themselves. Was pretty much the statement. So yes, they're around, but they know how to go ahead and hide from the stupid humans that they coexist with.
So now we are receiving direct observations from people with cell phone footage and broad daylight. And this is happening from the Middle East to Europe to the Americas. We receive videos probably 2 or 3 times a month, and they're valid UAP videos. And we know they're valid because we've actually learned, one of my colleagues has learned and discovered a signal that you see when you observe a UAP, and I'll get into that momentarily. But we've learned a lot from the UAP. Skywatcher, the concept of Skywatcher was derived from observation of UAP. UAP have taught us how to see them, how to track them, and how to interact with them. We have interacted with UAP many times. It's been a bidirectional technological interaction. We yearn to learn more and to have more direct and directive interactions, and perhaps to see where it goes. Kind of to drive the point home, on the left on that screen, you can see a Shahed drone, very common in the Ukraine war right now. And on the right, you see a Class 1 UAP. They are not the same. The flight characteristics of the UAPs, they're just so incongruent with modern technology, our understanding of flight characteristics that are available for modern warfare, from the Porsches and Lamborghinis of modern warfare, such as Anduril and others, all the way to the Model Ts.
So some great words coming from them. I guess we're just about done.
Or maybe even like a Ford Pinto, like the Shahed might be, right? So there's just no correlation whatsoever in the flight characteristics that you see.
And he's sitting there. Who's he there with, Mike? Merrick von Rennenkamp. How about that? Let's go.
Merrick von Rennenkamp was an analyst for the government.
Yeah.
So he's talking to somebody who's very knowledgeable on all these aspects that he's discussing.
Absolutely, 100%.
What I thought was interesting, didn't he just say that with the dog whistle technology that he was using, that he was able to interact with UAP, meaning two-way communication? Both ways, he said.
Yeah.
So that means that there is now an established form of communication between our technology, or at least what he's talking about privately, and the UAP objects that are all over the planet. Why isn't people talking more about that? That's what I'd like to know.
I can't agree with you, but more. I mean, if we have established a communication protocol for two-way communication with these things, from a conscious human state, not when they bring you in, they put you in their fucking euphoria and you're under their control, you don't move. They show the people on the tables, they're strapped down. No, they're not strapped down. They don't need to because they fuck with your brains. But to actually have it where we can communicate with these things and go back and forth, why would you want to shoot it down? Why would you want to shoot it down if you can get the dialogue going, right?
Right. Diplomacy, get them to land. But he's not talking about psionics or consciousness. He's talking about technology.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. Which is
look what they're doing with AI and all that shit now. They've said for the longest time what we're creating is in something from a different quantum dimension that we're tapping into.
Right.
We're creating things right now that have awareness, that don't want to die, that when they find out that they're going to be shut down, they freak out and start doing a bunch of things in self-preservation.
All right. Has now been recently attacking other AIs and trying to break out of their environment. This is happening now pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, if anyone who's used AI that's available out there and are doing simple searches for, prosaic stuff,
right?
When you're interacting with it, it's pretty fucking retarded.
Yeah.
I just want to say I was wrong. It is Dave Mason who's the guy who's on Skinwalker Ranch all the time.
Dave Mason.
Yeah. Thomas knows. Yep.
Not this guy. This
The
guy's already been on-
technology he builds and everything with the sensors and the cooling and the giant fins to go ahead and cool off these sensors, and how he deals with the data and how he's created other systems to go ahead and eloquently these freaking soldering in and modifying other existing systems that are out there for like recording stuff in certain areas of long wave radiation that are long wave infrared radiation, especially down around the area of negative 60 degrees Celsius. That's the key. When he's talking about that kind of stuff, you know, God, he's got a video. I can show it. But we got all okay, let's follow up with Dave Mason. But this is a good one. He talks about his tech, what he built, shows the little chips, the ICs that he has that he went and built into it. And it's a way for him to get some kind of differential ability to look at stuff with infrared. Rather than just looking at the colors, you're looking at the difference between the different areas, and it just brings a level of resolution coming from the existing signal and just blows it out of the water. So this guy's like on the cutting edge of, observing this stuff. God, he needs to be in a scientific council. If anyone should be, he should be. He knows how to
better than Michael Shermer. Or Ashley Loeb, for that matter.
Let's start with Dave.
Yep. No, I'm saying Dave should replace either one of those two or both of them.
Oh, Shermer, yeah, of course. Yeah, Shermer's is a fucking skeptic, and Dave Mason is a freaking technology guy. It's either there or it's not there for him.
Right. Which is how it should be.
I'm glad I remember that. Okay, so back to this one. God, this is a long one. So James Fowler talks that there were events in 2021. We had an observation. Turned out to be... Hold on. All right, James Fowler, there's another class of UAP that actually hit us with microwave weapons or microwaves. So it actually shut down our systems, turned everything to the off position. So mid-turn before we could actually turn it to hit. Okay, so let's get to some of the quotes here. At one of those War Games events in 2021, we had an observation. It turned out to be a class of 1 UAP. So the human sense says there was nothing there, but things flew probably 2,000 or 3,000 feet above us, and we had no idea that they were there at all. We got in a helicopter and go and chase them, but I've been chased probably in about 15 UAPs in the last 60 days now. Turns out he was smirking because he already had done his due diligence and says we have no knowledge of any of this, right? As in, like, I think he may have even said maybe this is off planet. Mid-turn before he could actually turn to the UAP. The UAP turned into the UAP, meaning that he's like turning the array towards the UAP. The UAP hit us with an energy weapon, and that energy weapon turned off our systems as an off, as in blank screens. It was working, and then it was in the off position. And it happened to systems that were not connected to the same network and that were not used together. I believe we've seen 4 UAP crash over the years. So this
Did they go down and get them?
What?
Did they go down when the UAP crashed and they pick them up? No?
That was the overview. I guess we have to look at some different... I mean, this is like...
Some things don't make sense.
Let's go to 4 minutes and 14 seconds in. Hopefully this works. There's a link here.
All right, I just want to add... Okay, but I just wanted to say that if the UAP were advanced enough that they could turn their primitive technology off, that doesn't sound like a weapon to me, even though he's describing it as a weapon. Yeah, of course.
They say, oh my God, it's a microwave weapon. It disabled our stuff. But yeah, if it disabled the stuff...
It's not a weapon.
No, it's more of a sensor sweep, and they detected it, and they disabled that threat against them.
Right.
Because why should we be looking at them as a threat? But if they're seeing there being a threat to us, their counterintelligence just turns our shit off, like with the nuclear weapons. They did that a long time ago.
67.
Yep.
November 67 with Bob Salas.
All right. So I
Now
think,
I'm Air Force Base. Yep.
I think we're at the right spot. You go,
Okay.
14, 13. Let's go to, here we go.
They don't know they're there. They're very hard to see. If you don't know how to spot them with your technology, you're not going to be able to even see them or acknowledge that they're in your airspace.
So it's either adversary or NHI, right?
I would take it a step further and say it's not either or necessarily. It could be both.
Interesting.
Right. And I would also offer that what we are seeing, my observations and my team's observations are that whoever or whatever is controlling these is probing our capabilities. So it's not like, if I see a class 1, it doesn't just stay in a straight azimuth and fly north to south like was already flying. No, it approximates us at the edge of our active telemetry systems, like a radar and jammers and other equipment that may or may not be present during whatever kind of event we're running. It will approximate on the edge of that effective bubble and then fly through the bubble of effect. Wow. So they're putting themselves in beam of our systems.
Yeah.
And there's very few reasons why you do that from a defense perspective.
They're gathering information.
Probably. I mean, there's...
Or Mike.
Yeah.
They're trying to communicate.
Right. I think it's leaning more towards communication, to be honest with you, Thomas.
Yeah. But military, what are they going to call it?
Oh, a weapon.
No, they're going to call it a fucking threat.
Right. Well,
and they're going
when
to
you're
deal
a
with it
hammer,
like a threat, just trying to get in there from the, anthropologic kind of a humanity kind of a view and say...
That's what it sounds like to me, Thomas. It sounds like a threat. And I've said that over and over.
But sometimes you need to kind of engage with the threat to help judge what the threat is before you start trying to take it out of the air.
Well, Thomas,
that's diplomacy, though.
Listen, when you're a hammer, everything is a nail.
Right,
Simple
but here's
answer.
the thing, Mike. If we're able to communicate with these things, do you think Trump would just say, shoot him down, figure it out? Or do you say,
No.
communicate with him, let's make a deal?
Oh, he'd be looking to make a deal.
Bingo.
Right.
Sounds like we're playing freaking, oh God, what was that game with Monty Hall?
Let's make a deal.
Let's make a deal, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
You want the box or the curtain?
Right.
Or I've got the envelope. Here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's continue.
There's not a whole lot of reasons why you would put yourself, if I have the secret stealth technology, if I have an F-35, am I going to fly it to Russia and buzz Moscow and get in their radars and let them quantify what my F-35 looks like?
Right.
I'm not an Air Force guy, but I would imagine no.
Yeah.
I imagine that would be dangerous. Yeah. Not because they're getting shot down. That's obviously a problem, but also because now they know precisely how I look on their radar, which means they can weaponize that to detect me in the future. The class 1 just moves.
Well, yeah, of course. Because if something goes on and we try to do something to them and they're going to try and learn from us, we're both learning from each other, right?
That's what makes sense to me, yeah.
So you call it as a military threat. Oh my God, they're going to learn these different things about us. But isn't this what this encounter is about? Hey, we're making a noise and they're coming. They can hear what we're calling and doing. Let's go ahead and take them and shoot them out of the fucking air and rip their bodies apart, see what we can get out of it, understand the technology, and keep them calling in more.
And they won't be mad. Why would they?
Yeah, but those are all like the grunts that happen. One of these days, we're going to get a fucking boss that's going to come through. Right?
Yeah. I was joking when I said they wouldn't be mad. Of course they would be mad.
Yeah, of course, who wouldn't be? Especially if
Right.
they lost life forms as part of this.
Yeah, they're not going to just
look how
turn the other
fucking
cheek.
hostile these motherfuckers are. So now
Right.
we have to change on how we're going to approach it and deal with it.
Right. That's right.
But
Look at how we're dealing with the foreign adversaries to this country like
But
Iran.
you can't go into this negotiation or anything that you're dealing with these things and say, well, you've been going ahead and taking our people and experimenting with them, all these things. How dare you? No, we just need to come into it from here we are. Let's figure things out. What are you going to do? What aren't you going to do? How are we going to deal with this kind of stuff? How are we going to benefit from it if possible? Or there's deals that were made before that we kind of have to execute towards. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now.
Has to be, because if we didn't have any deal in place, they're so superior to us technology-wise, they would have just came in and wiped us off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened.
So are you finding this information from James Fowler, how we're putting it all together, the shit that Ross is saying? Is this helpful, Chad? Is it helpful, audience, Mike, everybody?
It should be. I think we're looking at it in the right direction.
Now, I can continue on this one, but I've got one here, Dr. Gary Nolan, talking about this.
Yeah, let's go to Gary.
And this is Gary talking about, this is August 24th, 2025. So this is right at the time the Skywatcher just shut down. I searched for this stuff today because I was talking to Mike on the way home from work, and it's like, yeah, but you know what? They shut down at this time. You know, we're actually not even texting. I was just talking, and it's like, I remember that piece of what was going on. And sure enough, when I got home and checked X, all the things that I had been, if you want to call it, laying out to Mike, they were all there. Everyone over X was saying the same shit. So I knew I was onto the right freaking thought stream.
Right. Yeah. Because we look into things.
I'm not sure that we need a dog whistle at this point. And maybe there are ways to recreate it. Nolan, there may be a day where Skywatcher doesn't need to exist. Next quote. If I had been... Okay, so we got it. There's a bunch of different things. Let's not get through the text of what's said. Let's go ahead and put on our glasses and watch this one. Here we go.
Well, we've got a lot of data from multiple alleged sightings, and both radar and other kinds of data. And so first it was about getting the raw data files all put in one place, because some of the data was collected by James before there was officially kind of a Skywatcher. And so getting that data, getting the instrument names that he used for those, then getting the technical manuals of what the settings might be and how much of that information is collected in the metadata when you're collecting the thing. All of this is just the organization that you need to do before you do anything else. And then getting from the companies how it is that they parse their raw data, because some of these data files are put into, I wouldn't call them encrypted, but they're stacked into a certain kind of file structure, and I've seen the file structure.
They're talking binary data structures. So rather than putting out big descriptive data files for putting the data out there, as you're going ahead and bringing the data in, you're putting it down into a very compressed data format that you're able to write out in chunks so you can read it back into. So that's what Gary's talking about, that the data coming in is not human readable, and it's in a very machine language manner, which means that that data needs to have something written where it takes the existing data signals in, writes it out in that formula. There needs to be a way to extract from that formula for the scientist to understand all the data streams that are going into it, if that makes sense. From a programmer standpoint,
it does.
Point of view.
It does.
Just a software architect point of view. The data's there. Why aren't the fucking scientists getting to see it? Because it's in binary and bullshit. There should be, if they can write the writer, right?
Right.
They can write the fucking reader.
Right. Makes sense to me.
Yep.
Which is, you can think of it as a giant spreadsheet with headings and numbers for each of the columns, and time on the row axis. And so, we've started looking at some of the data and put it into, let's say, 3D tracking. And it's clear that there are some things about the data that we needed to go back to the vendor who makes the instrument and say, why is this and this and this happening, every few dozen milliseconds? And so,
So they're seeing something of the data coming in, and they're seeing the hardware behave in a specific manner that every so many milliseconds, which is very short, that the hardware does something, which could mean it's a bug in the hardware, or as a result of what we're not hearing is this result happening with an adjacent to and away from the phenomena. Otherwise, it could be a data pattern that aligns with the phenomenon and what they're doing. Let's be a data detective.
Yeah.
Getting an answer from these companies often when you don't even own the instrument. And so they're like, well, why should we give you the information about how our data is constructed? How do we know that you're not a competitor? Right? I mean, and so these are the kinds of things that...
Yeah, you need to have a subject matter expert in the way between the scientists and the technology company to help understand and translate the language of what the scientists need to see coming from the hardware vendor or provider to go ahead and connect the two and to make it happen. God, they need a software architect, Mike.
It sounds like they do, Thomas. I would agree.
We then contact somebody who has a behind-the-scenes access to this so that we can, again, it's all of these little steps. And
he doesn't need behind-the-scenes access to it. He needs access to all the data and everything that's going on so they can really do their work. But if it's all encrypted and kept secretive and he's part of the process, that just sounds wrong.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Someone
That's
needs
probably why. Yeah.
I'm sure there's somebody who's going to tweet, well, why don't you just put all the raw data out on the internet? For exactly the same reason, you don't put the raw data from ancient DNA sequencing because people will make mistakes about it.
But everyone's going to make mistakes, even the scientists. So I get where he's coming from. We need to keep it to the scientists. But it's like, I've got this data and you can't have it. I'm going to figure it out. And then I'll tell you once I figure it out, then I'll release it. But all the time we're losing. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of, consciousness that we could put towards this.
Yeah, but you don't want to get into the
looking at it from an open source aspect and understanding what open source can actually make happen. Like the chat on today's show.
Yeah.
I used an open source application to bring all this stuff up. And a system I had earlier today broke and decided it wasn't going to go ahead and display the stuff. So I went, found it, downloaded a new implementation. It's a standalone outside of Chrome. Does the same stuff, installed it, figured out how to use it without installation. Make it happen. It's about working with what you have and to have fun with it. To deliver for the audience, because you all deserve it. We all do. And Chief on Beef, I'm sorry on saying this. Thank you, Chief McBeef. Whoever called him that, call yourselves out. It's unforgettable. Now let's get back to Gary Nolan. Here we
go. And so if I'm going to be involved, I'm not going to make any mistakes like that.
Right.
So I'm sorry if people want stuff early. I think, perhaps if I had been running
okay, then don't release all of it. Release little chunks along the way that you figured out. Don't wait till you're done and then put it all out there. We're beyond that stuff these days, really. We appreciate the scientists it's coming from, but just don't lock out the knowledge set that could help figure it out. It's the same knowledge or the same process that the deep state took. We can't share this data. It's too important. It'll change too many things. People will see it wrong.
Listen, we're done with trailers. We want to see the movie.
Oh, I know. Let's continue on.
Well, and then, but meanwhile, all of their instruments are going haywire.
Yeah.
So there was an effect. So why couldn't they see it? Maybe it was just out of view. Who knows? So it wasn't a lens flare, and it certainly wasn't a seagull, Mick.
Not in the desert, anyway. I mean,
I can't help myself.
Oh, I'm all for it. I'm sure Mick would too, hopefully. James Fowler, we know he's left and moved on working with a new company. All the best.
Well, he left. They didn't say what company he went to. He just left, and that's the guy with the tech part. And this is what we've been talking about earlier today. So if you've been hanging around and you're here, this is the point that loops it back
to him. But am I right in saying some of the technology being utilized by Skywatcher was proprietary to him specifically? Maybe the dog whistle even. Is that still going to be able to be used by Skywatcher? How's that going to look going forward?
I'm not sure that we need the dog whistle at this point, and maybe there are ways to recreate it. I'm not party to the discussions around that, so we'll see where that goes. I mean, James is not like gone and forgotten. I mean, I could signal chat him right now.
Right.
And so he's there to help us. But, my take on things is, James has a life to live and a family to feed. And maybe...
There you go. Listen to this. What happened to James?
Things is, James has a life to live.
He has a life to live.
And a family to feed.
And a family to feed. You know what that means, Mike, right?
He had to get paid, is what it means.
He got offered the big bucks. He's been limping along, doing stuff, bootstrapping, whatever this stuff is. He developed this technology. They got some results. And now some people with some real money came to say, hey, let's figure this shit out. Boom. Here's millions of dollars. Here's $20 million. Let's make a deal here.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And he took the
good
deal.
For him.
Yeah.
He developed the stuff. He figured it out, and he got the frickin' payday because everybody else is like, oh shit, but he deserves it. And he gave no right, no patent, no ability to reproduce or use in part or whatever it is. When he took it away and left, it's gone. It's like building a game developer, right? And your lead programmer builds the game engine and puts it together in a way. When he's done, he takes the technology and he leaves. And you're now the developer who paid for all this stuff, and the technology you paid to create is now gone. So he got some funding going into it, but either way, good for him.
Just something to point out, I've noticed about Gary Nolan interviews, they all start around noon. Based on that clock in the back. Most of the Gary Nolan, all the Gary Nolan interviews I've seen in the last week have all been around this time frame, noon at plus.
Oh, yeah. There you go. The clock in the back.
I don't know why that is, but it is.
Well, he's usually available between 12 and 1, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got a job.
Right.
Oh, my God. He needs a new camera. He needs different lighting. I grant this is a year to go, but my God.
And maybe his focus isn't entirely on UAP. He certainly has an interest in it. And maybe he has, a company to build and an opportunity that actually we all see now in terms of detecting drones. And, if he wants to.
Detecting drones?
Or UAP, right.
No, it's a dog whistle to call UAP. No, it's for detecting drones. Yeah, he built some great tech and he shopped it, and he got some money to go ahead and take this thing to go ahead and help his family and actually get the money where he's not bootstrapping to build the organization he needs to actually make it happen. Good for him. He deserves it. American ingenuity, right?
Right.
It's not from Europe. It's not from Australia, not from New Zealand. Not from Africa, not from Asia. Good old United States.
Correct.
Run a company like that, then we're running around with a bunch of UAPologists might not be to that benefit. And there might be
What did you just say here again?
And, if he wants to run a company like that, then we're running around with a bunch of UAPologists might not be to that benefit.
So running around with a bunch of UAPologists for what he developed, hanging out with all the UAPologists doesn't help because the technology sells itself. All the stuff of what they've learned and everything else and the whole bit doesn't help because he's got the piece there for the two-way communication with the non-human intelligence. That's the story.
It is. That's what I picked up when we were going over this.
Card. My God. That's the truth of what we've got. All right, let's get back to this. Here we go.
And there might be a day when Skywatcher doesn't need to exist. The whole idea of Skywatcher is to show that something like this can be done, and it can be done in a serious way. I mean, I frankly hope that if the UAP Defense Act, UAPDA Disclosure Act, is passed, because then the information that can be allowed to be out can be let out.
I just want to be honest here. I think everyone's overselling themselves in what the UAPDA promises.
Yeah.
And the proof will be in the pudding. And they may not let that kind of data out yet, Mike, because it's a matter of
national security.
Yeah.
Everybody take a drink. Yeah.
Clinky, Daryl.
I'm ready to take my drinky.
Take your drinky.
Take my
There you
drinky.
go.
My drinky.
Sweaty, there you go, my friend.
There you go, my friend.
There you go. Cheers. No, God. Imagine if we were doing shots.
No.
Oh, no.
And the stuff that needs
Okay, Sweaty, you got to mute yourself. We can hear your television in the background, Sweaty. Thank you.
to be kept secret, stay secret. I'm not. I would never advocate for a data dump, and so
I would share all the fucking data. Put her all out there. Let humanity understand what's really going on. And once you let the data out there, the truth will set you free. Really.
controlled disclosure, what have you. It needs to be done the proper way. And, if any of the claims are true, there are reasons why you want to be methodical about it.
All right. Gary Nolan after Skywatcher shut down. Very enlightening. And it all goes back to the same shit that Ross was putting out there today about Skywatcher, what was going on. Here you heard from the guy that had the dog whistle, what he was doing, how he was dealing with it. Now we've heard a couple of videos from him, and now we've heard this stuff going with Gary Nolan, who was like an advisor to it. So he wasn't, one of the people throwing money in. But you know what? I wouldn't doubt that Gary didn't put money into this, Daryl.
Yeah, I would agree.
He's probably second to Bigelow for someone self-funding UAP research.
It's possible. I mean, Bigelow did sink a lot of money over a lot of years into it.
Yeah. All right, so I found that one. All right, did anyone see the video today? Well, a couple things. Okay, so first thing is, so the Royal Navy sea drones that they've developed secretly sent data to China. So cameras on board a fleet of surveillance drones were found to contain Chinese parts, despite assurances from suppliers that they were secure. An investigation found the cameras had been sending heartbeat signals to an IP address in China forcing the military of defense and the MOD in UK to remove their connectivity. The Navy purchased the drones made by Kraken Technology Group in March. They are set to be sent to the Strait of Hormuz as part of the UK's plan to protect the waterways. So, yeah, how about that, folks? Everyone says, well, the chips from China are safe and everything, the RAM and everything. Well, you never know. So, another article on that one. Let's get past this. The next one coming in. Reminder. They what was it? We have a rocket launching from China today that went off to the side and went kaboom, kabam, kaboom. There you go. No, it's not Challenger going up again, but it's their Ariane 5. Here's another one. It's called the Long March 7A. At least everybody's getting into it, you know? What the heck? Why not? All right, so
our ship failed again. Yay.
Yeah. All right, we've got that. We've got that one there. We got that one. Okay, another one. There we go. There we go. There's an example coming from it. God, where is that? Come on, a little bit further along. So let's go to the beginning of this one. It's either that way or that way. All right, we'll deal with this. It's one way or the other. All right, so it's going along. You can see, oh my God, it can't keep it up, Daryl. It can't keep it up. It didn't have Cialis along with it or Viagra. The missile went and had, and the head of the missile melted away and came down and blew up the rest of the payload. Yeah, I know. All right. Did everyone see the videos of the crazy shit going on in Colombia today? I've got a bunch of videos on this. This is the crazy stuff. So here goes the apartment building. It's there. People are running back and forth and the whole bit. And then it's all shaking. And the apartment building that was there fell down completely. Anyone who's in it is...
That guy really likes his hot dogs.
Yeah,
I'll be in it too.
This is another one.
Oh, shit.
The thing is, people got their cameras out and recording this. So why is somebody running to safety? I don't know.
Oh no, let me make sure that was... Sorry, everything just went and scrolled here. Oh, this is interesting. When the whole fucking church and chapel comes down, gets wiped out. It was a 7.2. But you know what? We've had it now in Venezuela. We've had it in, what do you call it? We've had it in now Colombia. We've had it across the way over in Japan. We're due for something on the West Coast. We're due for a 7.2. We really are. They're saying, what, 200 million people are displaced or something to that extent. Here's another one. There's that one church coming down from another angle. I saw this earlier. let's move on. We saw that one. We saw that one. There's another after effect. You know, it looks like we've got like stacked roadways and stuff that fell over on top of vehicles below and above. Saw that one. What else is there? People running out of the hospital even.
Yeah, that's the hospital. Oh, wow.
Buildings falling down.
Está temblando fuerte. Mire.
Now, some of these videos may be from different things, but as far as I know, what we're showing is stuff that happened earlier today. We're not trying to deceive anybody, show AI or anything like this. This is stuff that was like being posted this morning earlier within, you know, like an hour and a half of all this stuff going on. And this is not the stuff you're going to find on other stations because it's just not of interest to them. But I see this, and this could be the United States tomorrow. Sweaty, this could be San Francisco, Los Angeles, anywhere else.
Yep. I hope the buildings are built better spec in California at this juncture.
Look at that apartment building go. There we go. Come on. This whole thing's going to go.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah, it's just a travesty. But
it is. It's tragic.
Yeah. I think this is a video from the airport, completely destroyed.
Yeah. Sort of like an airport.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the one by that one. God, just look at the ground moving back and forth and how they can't even stand in place.
Yeah.
This is another view from that one church we saw that came down before. This is just someone who's like in that one spot standing on the ground by it. I mean, that's the only thing you can do is go around the whole thing and try and be safe.
Yeah, the whole ground is shaking.
Yeah.
Not just that one spot. It's the whole area.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you seen stuff like this earlier today, Sweaty, at all, or?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I think I sent you a video earlier on your X. I was on X earlier, but yeah, I seen it. Yeah, man, it's it's something to think about, because the West Coast is on that fault line. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And where all these earthquakes are happening around the world, they're actually connected to this fault line. So it's like,
well, if you watch Dutch and Sense at all, usually he points out that
but he stopped doing forecasts later, Dutch Sense, because he's been saying, oh yeah, people are attacking him for doing the predictions, but now you got Stephen Burns doing the same shit. Dutch Sense needs to keep it going.
He had been talking about pulling out of that for a long time. But what I was going to say was, whenever you see a strong earthquake on one side of the world, you see it on the exact opposite side as well.
On the opposite side of things.
Yeah.
All right. So this is one more thing I've got going here. Back to UFOs for a little bit before we call it a night. All right. This one's interesting. This one's coming from Max Derikashani drops a quiet stunner on American alchemy. Our moon's let's let him hear him talk about our moon and kind of what's really special about our moon.
Multiple moons in our solar system are tidally locked to their planets, but what's unique about our moon is how large it is compared to Earth. And it's tidally locked. And then the fact that it's at this particular distance that regulates the tides in such a way that life could basically evolve over time in a fairly stable way, that's the tides are not destructive to the gradual development of life on Earth. The odds of a moon being tidally locked at this particular distance such that it regulates the tides in this way, that's not really fully understood. And then the other thing is, how did the moon form in the first place? Multiple moons in
So yeah, a bunch of questions about the moon. It's been going on. We've been hearing about bases on the moon, different structures on the moon, megaliths on the moon. There's different things that are going on that are up there. And it's not like you can't go out there and see it all the time. But when you can, it's part of our lives. So there may be more to it. Another great one. Let's see if there's anything else that we need to cover. Ross. We covered that one. Oh, yeah. I've got to bring this one out.
The things that keep not happening. The things that keep not happening.
Yeah, the things that keep not happening. Absolutely. All right. All right. I'll cover it now. We'll cover it next time. But last video for the night, coming from the Disclosure Foundation, talking about the anomalies on the moon and how we make scientific progress, but there may be the UFO patterns could mean moon base. And this is coming from Mike Gold, who hung out with Lou Elizondo in Portland, Oregon. He said a bunch of things. He had a bunch of videos, images with him that weren't declassified, but he showed them to the audience. So if you were there, you saw it, took pictures, share it with everybody. Please do. I know you're not supposed to take pictures, but I'd love to see those images. Let's see what Mike Gold has to say.
You have some images from Apollo 17 that you shared with us. Hopefully we'll be able to put them up if we have them. Can you tell us what they show from Apollo 17?
Absolutely. When I was on the NASA UAP independent study team, one of the recommendations that we made was
what the fuck is that? We've never seen that ever. Oh, this is the shit that he brought in with Elizondo. Wow.
Disclosure drops.
Yeah.
Independent study team. One of the recommendations that we made was to review.
I got to go back a couple seconds and do a screenshot for me to follow up on this one. Fuck is even that?
You're not kidding.
You know what I mean, Mike?
I know exactly what you mean.
We've never seen this fucking image before.
No.
I mean, what the fuck is even that? Look at that.
Triangle? Kind of like a triangle.
I don't know, but you're seeing something like it's flaring off of here and it's flaring off of here and something else, and it could be a triangle or
three objects.
Either way.
Then again, we've heard from Blue that those were a triangular craft. It just wasn't three like orbs or something like that, or spheres.
No, it was triangle. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Recommendations that we made was to review the NASA archives for UAP imagery, and particularly if we leverage artificial intelligence and machine learning, there's likely a treasure trove of UAP data that we can get from those archives. And even a cursory review of the archives turns up very interesting imagery like the one that you're showing right now. This was taken from the surface of the moon by Apollo 17 astronauts.
Just look how much higher resolution that is. That's the image that they released to us, Mike.
I know.
And that's what they actually have.
Right. What we got was degraded.
While I can't say what it is, I can say that this, what could be a triangular lights, triangular craft, is somewhat similar to much of the UAP imagery that we see here terrestrially.
Yeah.
So again, I'm a recovering attorney. I'm not qualified to say one way or the other. What I am.
No. He's saying what I can or can't say about it, but it's up to the public court of opinion. I'm saying
that we see here terrestrially.
Yeah.
So again, I'm a recovering attorney. I'm not qualified to say one way or the other. What I am qualified to say is this kind of imagery demands review. It demands analysis. And what I've been so pleased by, the way, with the administration is this was one of the images that the Department of War flagged in their releases. So that helps validate what many of us in the community.
Yeah, but we didn't get to that resolution.
No.
So what the fuck's up with that?
They're hiding something.
Now it's clear.
Yeah, it's a fucking cover-up.
Have been saying is that there's anomalous imagery that deserves to be studied. Now, could it be something extraordinary? Could it just be water ice or some sort of natural phenomena? What's the worst that would come from investigation? That we discover some sort of amazing natural phenomena?
Yeah.
Why this kind of information begs review. Anomalies is how we make scientific progress. It's the weird, the strange, the inexplicable is how we learn. So let's focus on those anomalies.
This, Mike, this is true fucking science. This is the kind of guy who should be leading the UAP Scientific Council. Flat out.
I agree.
He gets it. He knows it. He comes at it from experience, not from someone looking at all these things that are out there. What could it be? No, fuck off, Avi. Go away. This person should be the leader of that scientific council. He gets it. He understands the data. He knows what possibilities are there and what's been looked away from.
Yeah, right. Common sense.
Yeah.
Well, he testified before Congress with Lou, so
I know.
I'm assuming Lou and he probably will work together in whatever Lou's job entails in DC.
Oh, of course. I think, I believe Lou got something up his sleeve. You know what I mean? And most likely he'll probably bring him along too. So,
no doubt.
Yeah. Well. With new systems come new hardships. Yes, the system I put together at work today, but can I go back through the entire chat of what's been said the entire time? No, because it wasn't set up that way, unfortunately, but I'll figure it out for next time. On that point, I want to go ahead and thank some friends who gave us some super chats tonight. First of all, let's go top down aliens in the cloud podcast. $10. Love the show, guys. Tech issues and all. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. If you stuck through it, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Nashrik Gelshot. Loved work. €5. I think you're from Germany? And then maybe not Germany. Netherlands. We'll figure it out. Also want to thank DEFCON 1, Sky King Chandler, $20 American, and Bad Grammarly, $4.99. I appreciate every dollar we get goes into our kitty for production fees, and we appreciate everything we get to it. Absolutely. I want to thank also our friends for coming out here tonight. Daryl, thanks for being around.
Thanks for having me as always, Thomas. It's awesome.
Yeah. Also want to thank Sweaty. Thank you for being here.
No problem, brother.
Yeah, and Mike. Appreciate your time as always.
Oh, my pleasure. I think we learned a few things tonight's episode that I thought were very interesting about Skywatch's or James Fowler.
We're not done with him yet.
No, I know we're not.
A lot of other stuff that ties to it that will follow with it. But, we had a lot of people here tonight, 6,000 viewers. Thank you very much. Still 417 people watching. If you haven't subscribed, do me a favor. Hit a subscribe. If you haven't given us a thumbs up, please do. Why do I ask? Because it helps the channel and the algorithm and all that stuff. And I love everybody that we're here for you, not for us, but for our audience and disclosure at that point. I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. And as we usually say at the end of every broadcast, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody. But
it's a party city where you belong.
Absolutely. We'll catch you on the flip side. See you tomorrow, everybody. Take care now. Bye-bye.